welcome. Let's see what glorious hunk of metal we're working on today. Easy one. Stay tuned. 2012 Kia Optima. You guessed it. We're doing pads and rotors. So take your wheel off. And we're going to take this bad boy off. Caliper bolts are a 15. Let's go ahead and pull those off. Hey, I'm an idiot. These are 14s. So there's one up top, one on the bottom. So we'll pull those off, set them to the side, and then we're going to do those bolts down there. So the two bracket bolts are 17s. Let's go ahead and pull those off now. Next, grab your impact and get these Phillips out. Well, if you're like me and you strip them because they suck, you're going to drill them out. Alright, so drilled and sliders going on this. So these are labeled, but if they're not, those point towards the back of the car. Okay? So I had to use a pair of vice grips to get these little guys out. And I'm going to run to the hardware store and grab some new ones and throw them in there. But for now, let's keep working on this. So, before you put that on, make sure and spray the back of it with brake cleaner, and then spray the front with brake cleaner before you assemble everything. But right now, see that piston? It's kind of out. So, we're going to go ahead and compress it with one of these. And I'll show you how. So, I don't like to actually push on the piston itself with that little thing. So I put an old brake pad in there, and then you just spin it, and it will slowly retract in. It really doesn't take a whole lot of effort. I mean, obviously nobody's holding that caliper, and I'm just spinning it with one hand as I'm holding the camera. So it slowly retract. Alright, and about right there is fully retracted. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that off, and I'll be right back. Okay, the brakes the customer supplied didn't come with new hardware, so I just cleaned up the surfaces and reused the old hardware, put some grease in there. The squealer, that guy, the pad with that guy, goes on the back. Make sure and tighten your 17 mils up. And now the important part. So your caliper slide, as you can see, slides. Well, one of the biggest mistakes people make is they don't grease these. So we're going to grease these. I use Lucas Red and Tacky. It works great. Now people say, hey, you're stupid for using that. Use caliper grease. Well, I've never had one of these fail with the Red and Tacky. I have had these seize with just normal clear caliper grease. So that's why I do it. So I just shove a little bit on there and start putting it in that little hole. Okay, so I've got it all in that hole. Now I'll just work this guy in there a few times. And that's what I do. So I'm going to do the other one, and I'll be right back. Alright, there you go. All nice and shiny. Make sure and torque those down. And we're going to do the rears later also, so I'll do a video on the rear. But whenever you do brakes, when you get in your car, your pedal's going to go all the way to the ground, all the way to the floor. So make sure and pump that a couple of times, you know, because you have to seat your caliper piston to your pads. There's always a little bit of play in there, and by pumping the brakes a little bit, you'll actually get rid of that play, and your brake pedal will be firm again. So go ahead and make sure and do that. But make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share us, critique me. I don't care. Deuces.